Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. STL Tones have just released the Gary Holt addition to ToneHub. He's got an extensive amp collection over the years and absolutely crushing tones on all of them. Let's just check it out. So this is the standalone application for ToneHub. You can run it through all your different DAW software and things. It's really easy to use. It's easy to get around. You've just got your stomp boxes here that you can go through and different effects in the front. You've got the amp model here, and this is just a generic face that covers all the different amps over his whole collection. You've got your cabinet simulator here with different microphones that you can move around and change different resonance and pass filters and things. And then it goes into a parametric EQ if you feel inclined to tweak some of these presets. And then it goes into different effects so you can create your own ambience later. And it's really simple just to use and navigate. You turn the effects on or off, or however you like to just set up your amp for different sounds. So in the Gary Holt pack, there's over 100 presets just to go through and explore and just work out different tones. They're absolutely all crushing, and I think there's only about 1 or 2 clean sounds in the whole thing. And then for each preset, there's a little bit of info about it, and this is using the Jubilee with the Arachnid cabinet, a Shure SM57 pushed up to it, the ESP E2 Eclipse, as well as EMG 81. For my guitar, I'm actually using the EMG HZH4 pickups. I just find they're really good for Gary Holt sort of tones. They're really clean and clear. He used them in the studio too. And then over in the notes, it just goes into a little bit more detail about the pedals and gear that he used. And here he had the Protone, Gary Holt's signature mid boost, the Boss SD1 and the Guptec Peter EQ, just to give that low end boost. And this is classed as a low gain preset. It's got a lot of gain just sitting there. And then onto the mid gain. And you can see just the way that it all flows, that it's pretty easy just to find your certain presets and what microphones work for you, whether you like the SM57 for a lead tone. And if you go over to the effects right now, you can just turn on the reverb, turn the effect on. That's monstrous, that's so cool. Let's go on further. And awesome, the PV-XXX, this is a monster of an amplifier. It's the one that they used on the Atrocity A as well as Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. They're meant to be low gain, that's absolutely crushing. Some of these I find if the bass is just a little bit too much and your headphones are rattling, if you just go into the equalizer just here, you can just go to the low shelf and just take out a little bit of the frequencies, like choose the frequency. I'm finding if you go from about 3 to 400 and then just take 1 or 2 dB off that. It still retains that real heavy thump, but you just get a little bit more clarity in different headphones and things. A lot of these presets were designed for the Kemper as well, so whether they translate between the two very well, I've found that's just a really good way just to make them really usable in this sense. The PV-XXX mid gain. They're absolutely brutal sounds, they're just so heavy. And the next line of amps that we get to, these are the Langner modded Marshalls, and these are absolutely Gary Holt's holy grail of modded Marshall JCM 800s. He had them done back in the 80s and they just sound absolutely crushing. They were used on so many different albums back then. The Fabulous Disaster, they went right up to Tempo of the Damned, where He didn't even have like pedals and things going through the front of the amp. It was just the amp on its own to give you that tempo sound, along with the MGHZ in an Eclipse, I believe. The Langdon modded Marshall logo with the V kick. They're pretty brutal. This is really crunchy sort of amp. For these next few presets that are really album specific, I've just gone through and made little tweaks just so they sit a little bit better in my ears, just playing along with the records and things. I found some of these a little bit boomy in the low end. It might translate really well to the Kemper, but for this software, I think some of them's just a little bit boomy, but you take it off the top and I think we've got some really good tones. This is the Tempo the Damned. We'll just try the Exhibit B album. This one used the Engel Savage 120. This just had a really crazy tone to it. And now to the Exodus main rhythm. And I really think you get the idea by now. It's a really cool plugin. Some of those solo tones and just the epic crushing tones that you can get with this whole plugin, it's pretty brutal. Just don't be afraid just to tweak some to your liking. As I said, all the presets that I've done here, I'll just have links in the description. But check it out, STL Tones, the Gary Holt edition. Take care. Bye.